aircraft liability. Admitted aircraft liability says it's only gonna be available if you have passenger liability, and the intent is to pay for death or dismemberment to a passenger, if the insured wants to. It's more of a public relations opportunity, guys, that's really what it is, for your testing pleasure. Well, those are okay, they're okay, but can I tell you the one that is always, always, always there? Put some stars by Hangar Keepers, guys. That's the one that's always there. If I'm looking at Hangar Keepers, please notice it says it's a form of bailees. Why do we say it's a form of bailees? Because that means you have planes of others in your care, custody, control. You remember garage keepers were cars in your care, custody, control? These are planes in your care, custody, control. When you get to the state test, the one usual question is, what is a form of bailees under aviation? And you're to match the answer, Hangar Keepers. That's what you're gonna do. Don't worry about product liability. Airport air meet, cool, but not exciting. What I wanna do is maybe once in a while, guys, you can go to exclusions. And under the exclusion category, you can see that there are things we're not gonna cover. Please take a peek through them, but don't spend a lot of time on them. Other than the fact, look down to number 3, because it says, if you're in flight under any condition requiring special permit or waiver, at this particular point, you can see, guys and gals, even if it's granted, we don't have to cover it. Even if it's granted by FAA, we don't care, because we're the ones providing you the coverage, that's it. But what's intriguing here, please notice this is the only policy that will give you up to 100 miles into Mexico. Theory being is, if there's a airport in the tip of Texas, you have to fly over Mexican airspace to position the plane to get into the airport. That's the flexibility there. Not necessarily your state exam question, but still there. Let me tell you why I care. Your state exam question said, we have a 62-year young individual flying into Mexico under special permit. How many miles into Mexico can they go? Guys and gals, here's the problem. The problem is, although 100 is gonna be on your state exam, you're never gonna pick it. The reason you're not gonna pick it is because it said special permit. Did y'all hear that? Blew it out of the water. Love it. All right, nothing else I'm concerned about under that. And by the way, how many questions are you gonna get on aviation? That would be 1 question on aviation. Boiler machinery, 3 questions on this one right here. And when I look at boiler machinery, please be very, very comfortable that this is only, listen carefully, only breakdown only. Only breakdown only. If your machinery burns up by fire, go to commercial property. If your machinery blows away by wind, go to commercial property. This is breakdown only, guys. That's all it's designed to do. As I look at boiler and machinery, on the first line, I've given you some examples so you get your mind wrapped around it, although it's not on your exam. So if I say boiler, I'm talking obviously about water to heat all the rooms in the hotel, right? If I say electric steam generator, fired vessel, I'm talking big air conditioning. I'm talking walk-in freezers in a grocery store. I'm talking about huge, huge, huge types of machinery. There are 3 types of policies you can see, but not to be concerned about those. I just wanted to only bring it to your attention because while there is a big business boiler machinery policy, there are small businesses as well. In looking at the small business, you have to qualify for the small business, and at the bottom of the page, you will see there is a small business qualifier. I know that used to be on last year's state exam. Haven't heard it's on this one. Basically what it says is if you want to qualify for the cheap, good coverage, we will evaluate your building and multiply it times 80%. As long as your building's not over $5 million, we'll call you a small business. Somehow that sounds pretty big to me, but they don't see it that way. What I'm more concerned about here, guys and gals, is as you look further, you will see it talks about types of property. Whenever they ask what are the types of property in a boiler machinery, they're not asking about a boiler, fired vessel, any of that. They're not asking. What they are asking, guys and gals, is that you know we're covering anything owned by the insured. We're covering anything in the insured's care, custody, control. We're covering anything that the insured is legally responsible for. That's what we're covering. Although that's great to know, I'm going to bypass a lot and go down to coverage extensions. Out of the coverage extensions, the ones that you care about right here, guys, is that there is one that says expediting expenses. It comes on one of the 5 exams. Expediting expenses says it's going to cover the cost of temporary repairs to hurry along the permanent ones. That's what it's designed to do. As I look at cost of temporary repairs to hurry along the permanent ones, please keep in mind that now there's a question that used to be there last year, and it said, we have a place of business that was being operated by a generator that broke down. They're simply buying electric from the power company. What is this considered? Expediting expenses, because it's a temporary fix, right? That's what it is. But if I'm looking for the questions that always show up, grab your hat out. Let's just get those done, because newly acquired or automatic coverage is the first one that always seems to be there. Most newly acquired's always been 30 days, guys and gals, but not here, because it's gonna take a little while for us to value it and insure it. So 90 days is here. The other one that they like all the time is what is the minimum basic limit, and the minimum basic limit under blowing machinery is $500,000, guys. That is amazing. Sounds pretty big to me, but I'm even humored more by the deductible. What is the deductible under this particular policy, guys? $500.
Mm-hmm.
Your lowest is 500,000, and you want a $500 deductible? Seriously, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Wow.
However, another one that shows up once in a while, put some stars by, valuation clause. They want you to know that replacement cost coverage is okay, but only if you replace that unit within how many months, guys? 18 months, exactly right. Then head on down for the last of the last. And what I want you to do is, as you look at the exclusions above, one of the exclusions is spoilage of food. They don't want to know spoilage of food is not covered. They want to know, how can you cover spoilage of food? Let's look down to consequential damage, guys. If you want to cover spoilage of food, that's how you buy it back. If you want to pay me more money for it. Obviously, the ones in yellow are the most popular ones that show up. Obviously, the ones in red, obviously, are pretty important to you, along with green. I will tell you, can I say this to you? Outside of the ones in yellow, the next most popular one is the valuation clause. That is the most popular of the next ones that come into play right there. Consequential shows up, some of the others show up, but those are them. How many questions under blowing machinery? 3. Last of the last. Yay! Health insurance. Oh, can I scare the bejeebies out of you? No. People say, I only got, well, the state exam says you're only gonna get 4 questions on health insurance, but liar, liar, pants on fire. People say, I got 9 questions on health insurance, and I went, I know it.
Wow.
Well, if they say it's only 4, how'd they get 9? Because there's a lot of Florida law questions in here, and they're not counted as health, they're counted as Florida law. I'm smiling. You're not joining me.
That means money.
Okay.
Money.
Why do I care? Because obviously this is an important one, and I know you're tired, but I'm gonna pull out the ones that you care about for sure. So let's get rocking. Here we go.